All right, thank you for staying with us. It's time now for us to look through the newspaper headlines, and I will begin with the Nation newspaper. The major headline here says, Court voids nominations of Labour Party's only governor-elect, others. And some writers here, OT sues for Kamsa's inauguration unaffected. Abia PDP weighs options as Labour Party accuses it of instigating judgment. Court lifts suspension order on Aburi, other officers. And we hear that there is an update with regards to this story, that the court said there was no ruling such as this. Anyway, we go to another story now. Tributes as FCMB founder Shubomi Balogun dies at 89. And then presidential election petitions court rules Monday on Obi Atiku's request for televising of proceedings. EFCC chairman Bawa demanded a $2 million bribe from me. Governor Matawalle is speaking. Commission no more back and forth with Zamfara governor. NDDC chair MD fight dirty at Senate over alleged corruption. Right, we have a story here, and that has to do with, it's an inside story talking about Sheun Kuti, whose his tour is supposed to begin today, actually. But he is in custody, and recent updates, we were speaking with one of his persons yesterday, and it was reported that the police got 4 days more to keep him in custody. As against the initial 2 days because of the investigations that the police say they are carrying out. And the members of his team are saying that the police went behind the lawyers to get...
For that search that they did?
Yeah, to get these 4 days extra that he now has to stay in custody for. And it's quite a sad one for him because this tour is one of the longest he's going to have in his career because it will begin from May till sometime in August, and he will be traveling across the world. Unfortunately, he is in custody.
So the lawyers are actually saying that the police are disobeying a court order, by, just like you said, by withholding the artist case. So they're saying that the case should be transferred to, I think, the Director of Prosecutions in Lagos, so it can be properly evaluated and for him to actually be charged if it's needed. So I think my own opinion is that I think there's some kind of vendetta because of how they've been going to search his house, check things.
I mean, the incident happened on the Third Mainland Bridge.
Third Mainland Bridge. So why are you going to his house? Yeah, it's as though they are looking for something to nail him some more. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and see how this unfolds. But it's really a sad story, although no one is really supporting what the artist has done by assaulting the police. But sometimes you do not want to. I think it should be handled properly. So it's so sad because it's like he played into their hands. Right. So that's how it's looking right now. But fingers crossed.
It's a matter of scapegoatism right now.
Yeah, the way it's looking. So.
Any other story here on the front page of the Nation newspaper?
Okay, for the Nation's newspaper, I think I saw a story on on page 11 about the attack in Nasarawa, how one of the women whose husband was killed, actually the headline says, how headsmen killed my husband, 2 kids, turned me into a childless widow. Wow. It must be really, really difficult for her right now because she's not exactly a young woman, and she has lived with her husband for so many years with her children, and she was not even around when the attack happened. She had gone to Port Harcourt to do business. When you leave your house, you expect that you come back home to meet your family, and then you come back. She hasn't even returned, only for her to hear that her husband and kids have been shot dead.
Unfortunate.
It's so unfortunate and so painful.
To the matter of insecurity in the country. Yeah. Unfortunately. We quickly have to move now to Saturday Punch. And the major story here says federal government outgoing governors in last minute 3.7 trillion naira contract bazaar. appointments spree. And some riders, multi-trillion naira contracts awarded by federal government between March the 20th and May the 14th. Incoming administration to face cash crunch, serious challenges, CSOs are speaking. And some other stories, interesting stories here, on the Nigerian entertainers who have broken world records. You see the likes of Kafi there as well. And then we see another story here. Graduate job seeker battles age limits, turn Okada riders. And then another story here. We enjoyed life education in Sudan before the war. Returnees are speaking. And another story here. I'll soon be appreciated for saving Labour Party. Apapa, one of the factions of Labour Party speaking. And then to the top corner of the paper, you see President, wife, son spent over 250 days abroad for treatment. Tinubu family need not go abroad again for health care. Aisha Buhari speaking. Buhari Gajabiamila Ogumon as Shubomi Balogun dies at 89. Who has what story here?
I have the Shubomi Balogun story, but not on...
It's still the same story.
Yes. So, Shubomi Balogun is was the founder of FCMB, and there's no way we'll talk about the history or the growth and development of the banking sector in Nigeria without mentioning his name. He played a really, really vital role in the progress of, ensuring that the banking system in Nigeria is what it is today. And we really commiserate with the families, well-wishers, people that knew him, people that benefited from him.
Exactly.
Because one of the things that most of the papers highlighted today was the fact that he had a lot of philanthropic deeds, right? Aside being an entrepreneur, he gave out a lot, gave scholarship schemes to people. And I think that that's the essence of life itself.
Yeah, I think he lived
such that,
life.
yes,
Yeah.
when we are made or in our process of being made, we are remembering others around us to impact their lives. So it was a good life he lived, honestly.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day.
All right, so to just quickly touch on one other story here, we enjoyed life education in Sudan before the war. Those are the returnees, especially those who are students in Sudan that were brought back to Nigeria because of the crisis in Sudan. So they were talking about their experiences, how it is that some of the lecturers in Sudan do not go on strike, and even some of them had to reject, the admission given to them in Nigeria. They are hopeful that they will return back to Sudan to complete their education.
Wow.
That goes to tell you what the educational system is like. So they are just recounting that the system there works. And that should be a lesson for us as a country. I mean, in the last how many years, we have had several strikes. 9 months being at home.
Sad.
It's just bad. That is why a lot of persons are leaving the country in search of better systems of education. And I believe that our government, the incoming administration, because the outgoing government cannot do as much now. They're counting in days to leave. That incoming administration, who has promised that they will address matters of strike. That was what the president-elect said when he received his certificate of return. He was saying that he's going to address this matter of strike to ensure that 4 years is 4 years. And Nigerians are hopeful that that is what is going to be. Because for you to get an admission and you are rejecting it because of what you have experienced, it goes to say a lot.
Yes,
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
For the record breakers, I just wanted to highlight, the resilience of, Nigerians.
All right.
Just to say
kudos to them.
Kudos to them, and also to Hilda Bassi.
Right. We need to quickly go on a break. When we return, we'll continue with the newspaper review. Just stay with us. All right, thank you for staying with us. We are still looking through the newspaper headlines, and this time around, we are moving to the front page of Saturday Tribune. And the major story here says, Atiku tells court, INEC is fighting proxy war for Tinubu. Says Electoral Commission can't defend President-elect on drug dual citizenship allegations. And then to this other story that is quite a sad one. 125 given mass burial, 20,000 villagers displaced. That's talking about the Plateau killings. And this other story, Labour Party primaries illegal. Kano court declares, says Labour Party's votes in Abia, Kano, null and void. We hear that the court has said that there was no such ruling. And then another story at the top corner of the paper, 21 billion naira clinic opens in Aso Rock. Presidents won't travel abroad again for medical treatment. Aisha Buhari speaking. And my brother-in-law's wife used her soup pot to steal my husband's heart from me. A woman is telling the court there. Toby, you have a story here.
Yes, I have a story on page 9.
All right.
And basically on page 9, there's an entire page dedicated to Ask the Doctor. So people send in articles and a doctor tries to respond to those questions. And this one, there's one of the stories that says, is sleeping very important, right? So this person was saying that I'm a top executive in a law firm. Because of the nature of my job, I hardly sleep for up to 4 hours a day, and I'm fine, right? So the doctor now goes on to explain. And I think that in day-to-day Lagos, you know, people hardly sleep because they spend most time sometimes in traffic, and then by the time they get to the office, they get back home really tired and all that. They just want to sit down in front of maybe the TV and not sleep. And so this doctor is saying sleep is important, that over time, you may still be fine, but at some point, your body begins to shut down. So this is like an encouragement to ask
workers.
So the hard workers in the community, please try to get some rest.
Very crucial.
You know, we are advised to take an average of 8 hours sleep every day, but we do not. So let's try to consciously do this.
And then a doctor says that, you know, some people will say, I'll catch up.
Yeah.
I'll take a day to catch up on all of that. He says it doesn't work that way. You have to get your sleep immediately.
As at when
needed.
When your body
request
for it.
And that it's not something you can say, okay, because I didn't sleep for
I'll crash.
2 days, I've accumulated, I'll take that up, and when I'm not going to work, I'll sleep, and then I'll be able to make up for lost time.
Okay.
No, that doesn't work.
So consistency, just continue doing it
Try as
every
much as
day.
possible.
Yes.
To take the needed rest. Okay, so I have 2 stories here. And one has to do with the 21 billion naira clinic opened in Aso Rock. That's the presidential wing of the State House Medical Center that was inaugurated by the president over the week. And Aisha Buhari, that's the wife of the president, is saying that she conceived this idea in 2017 when her husband took a break to go check himself abroad. And that right now that it is up and running, the incoming president and his family would not need to travel abroad to do medical check, because this hospital is available to them. Damola, why are you laughing? You are not allowing me talk. You are not allowing me talk.
I'm enjoying how you.
I can read your mind. I can read your mind. I can read your mind. That why did they not set it up before they are leaving, Abi? And why didn't they? You know,
Veronica, you can't have access to her mind.
I'm seeing what her mind is saying.
She's looking at it like
me.
I was right.
I was just enjoying how you were, telling the story. It was about you. I was just enjoying like.
But tell me your mind. Is that not what you're thinking?
Well, when I read the headline first, I was like, But the way you've, summarized it now, somehow it sounds like a good initiative. Like, okay, she came in, saw that this was missing, and then she decided to, ensure that, initiate it, that, okay, the next president does not have to go through what I went through. So to me, I think
to save the country some money.
Yeah. So I think we should keep our fingers crossed.
Very important. We must highlight that.
Exactly. So I think we should keep our fingers crossed that to see how things unfold. Let's not, be quick to judge, to, say, oh, this, that. Yeah. So let's just wait and see if they would really use it. If I haven't seen the picture of the 21 billion, is it naira or dollar hospital?
Billionaire.
Billionaire hospital. I haven't seen it, so I can't judge if it's up to par or not, but time will tell. Time
Absolutely.
always have time. ways of telling things. So.
All right. There's this other story. It said my brother-in-law's wife used her soup pot to steal my husband's heart from me. Now, this couple...
Very complicated.
This couple, about 32 years of marriage, and the husband took their matter to court and has said he's no longer interested. That his wife is naggy, she's aggressive, she's not caring, she's this and that. After 32 years, you just realized, well,
it happens.
Then the wife now said that that's not the issue. The issue is this. Let's go to the real issue.
Okay.
My brother-in-law's wife always cooks a particular soup or cooks soup. And whenever my husband eats it, he will fight me. He will beat me. That's the situation. That is the issue. And I've said it several times that I do not like it when she brings this pot of soup to our house. It's causing problem.
So she's
that I want this marriage to stay, that she's not ready to divorce her husband.
Where will she start from? Truly, after 32 years?
When soup is causing problem.
I will not, don't collect the soup again.
Wait. Help me to understand the matter. The wife is accusing her husband's brother's
wife. Yeah.
So is she insinuating that her own husband wants to snatch his own brother's wife?
I don't know.
Yeah,
this is
but there's just soup in the matter. There's soup in the matter. Somebody is eating soup.
Soup.
No, I think
the way to a man's heart, they say, is his stomach. And it's like the brother's wife understands the way to the
Veronica, what has the man been eating for the past
32 years? Big question. Very
has
good
he
question.
been eating? Which soup has he been eating?
He realized when he tasted his brother's wife's soup that this is different.
It's a very complicated matter. I think they need to dig deep or deeper into what is causing their wahala.
So she is saying that, but to be fair, whatever the issues are, if it is food and someone is saying your soup is causing problem in my home, don't bring it again. You should respect that.
Yes, very important. And I think that
you
sometimes
should respect that.
People try to overdo more than the owner of, you know, when it is in a situation where you see something not working well in your brother's house, for instance, rather than call the wife,
take it upon yourself.
Exactly. Rather than call the wife to say, can I suggest this or something? You then take it on like it's you that they brought to the house. For what? I just think that sometimes we should stop overdoing.
Yeah.
It is not in your place to cook.
Because we don't really know the full story, it might actually be the woman's husband, that is the man's brother. You know, telling his wife that, oh, you have to take food to my brother. You have to take food to my brother. He has not eaten. You know, he's having issues with his marriage. So pack some food for him.
All right.
You know, we can't really tell.
Women supporting women.
This is not our... Let's quickly move on to the last paper now. And Saturday Vanguard, insecurity, the major story here, insecurity kills 63,111 killed in Buhari's 8 years. A report is putting this together, and it says 27,311 persons killed in president's first term, 35,800 killed between 2019 and May 2023, 98,083 killed in 12 years. We won't allow Buhari's government spend $800 million loan. Reps are speaking. And then Plateau killings, 57 given mass burial, more than 100 killed in 2 days. And Hilda Bassi, beauty, reign, and fame. All right, let me just quickly talk about the Plateau killings. So there's a village called Mangu Village. The villagers woke up and they were attacked. It was at the middle of the night. And over 100 persons were said to have been killed in 2 days. And some persons had to flee the village. And they are still counting their losses as we speak. Yesterday, you know, the village heads were trying to speak with the people, and we are here to get some official statement from security operatives with regards to this recent attacks. But it's just an unfortunate incident that happened that a lot of persons lost their lives. There's been a mass burial for some of those that were killed already as we speak. Now, who has any other story here?
I had a Shubumi
story, but we have touched on that. Then Hilda Bassi is here. She broke the record, cooking for 100 hours. And a lot of Nigerians are commending her for her efforts. 27 years old, a motivation for the youth.
Symbol of hope.
Yes, yes. And there are those who are ready to break the record already. Now, you hear a lot of persons saying, what am I passionate about that I can, break the record in?
Let's start first.
That's the much you can take.
What record do you think?
You said we were going on a break, right?
All right, let's go on a short break. When we return, we'll be looking at our hot topic for today. Stay with us.